Hello, Chelsea fans, and welcome back to the Pride FT. The FT stands for Football Thoughts. Thank you for joining us once again on another fantastic episode. An episode that comes just before an international break. Boo! But post a 4-1 win in the Premier League and lots of lovely, big, juicy news stories. To react to that and much more, I am joined as ever by my illustrious guest, Clark. Hello, Clark.
Hello, how are we doing? I thought I was in a football opera then.
Yeah,
Didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. That would be pretty good, actually. I can imagine some pretty good scenarios and some pretty good moments. Can you imagine a Premier League opera?
It'd be incredible. Imagine an opera commentary.
That'd be pretty class. I might have to pat that.
He's through on goal.
Oh, what a finish! Take a bow, son.
Yeah, no, I'm all good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm pretty good. I'm all right. Not much really to say.
Nice.
Life's just kind of ticking over as normal. Had a day off today though, so that might be why I've got a bit more energy about me.
Yeah,
a bit more. Yeah. Pardon me, a bit more life, a bit more verve.
Verve. Oh.
Yeah. Right. If people could like, subscribe, and comment, that would be really handy.
Yes,
obviously, if you like what we do, if you don't like what we do, just piss off. I've got a frog in my throat. Jesus. Fantasy Football League reminder as well. If you are interested, I think you can still sign into the league.
I think so.
You'll be well behind if you do, but F it, just do it for the laugh, innit? There's no money involved.
Doesn't it like count your total? No. They're not counting total already, like up to
I guess,
now.
yeah, okay. I guess if you've been playing already.
Anyway, I'm first, so get wrecked. Second week in a row, I've been first. So
Well in. I had a poor weekend because like 3 of my team didn't start and didn't play because they're all injured. So that was an absolute killer for me. I can't lie, but there we go. That is that's the pitfalls of Premier League. Oh, and also Erling Haaland keeps letting me down. So
yeah, I know. What the fuck? Like everybody's got him, and he's letting everyone down.
He's like 92% pick rate, and everyone wants to be captaining him.
Have you seen how much he is?
Like me. What is he now? Like 14? Jesus 14 Christ, million. Yeah. I might have to sell him. Sell him.
I'm thinking that.
I might have to because he's doing my head in. He's doing my head in. Well, anyway, talking of ballers, talking of goal scorers, Chelsea.
We're on a win streak.
Chelsea FC are on a 3-game win streak, and we've just come off the back of a 4-1 Premier League victory against the mighty Burnley.
Burnley.
Pardon me again.
Yeah. Great game it was. Well, I say that actually, we started off rough, but it was just one of those. They scored in the first 20 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, it was quite early on. We
looked okay at the start. We looked, pressing and stuff like that. Sterling had a fantastic shot about a couple minutes in, and he bloody put it over. But you know what I love, as we always said on this channel, have a pop. I don't care if you miss.
Have a pop, for God's sake. Have a pop.
Yeah. Because when you have a pop, you're buying a ticket. And what you win? You can't win the raffle without a fucking ticket.
True.
So, you know what I mean?
True.
So, yeah, he had a pop. Fair play. The goal that we conceded, let's just talk about Cucurella. A lot of people saying, like, it's not his fault in that. And I thought, well, he's not marking his man. Because his man is the man that scored. So, you marking, everybody's like, oh, it's not his fault and all this stuff. I'm like, well, it kind of is, because he rotated too close into the centre. Don't know if I'm probably just fucking a knobhead for thinking this, but I thought, why aren't you marking that man? There's no one around him. Silva, this is the other thing. Silva's coming back in, like running towards us. He has obviously looked at where Cucurella and whatever his face that scored is. Why didn't he say, fucking Cucurella, go to him, like, push him over there, sort of thing?
It was. I mean, the whole defensive shape at that moment was a bit of a mess. Actually, when you watch it back, I don't think anyone can really hold their head up high. Unfortunately, like they were just like Disasi let his man go. He ran straight past him. Yeah. Silva was dragged out because of that, and so was Cucurella. And I think actually, like the thing about Cucurella is not really even as much of like his his positioning or where he was. It was like he's just a shit defender. Like he's just not good. There's a guy I've mentioned him so many times. His name's Seb C, French guy, and he hates Cucurella. So me and him, we have that in common. And the one thing he says is that like because he's a coach, he's a coach in French football. Not for fucking PSG, but anyway. But he knows what he's talking about. But one thing he always gets annoyed with Cucurella in terms of defensive attitude is his stance and his like positioning of his feet. And apparently it's about small quick steps. You don't want to be leant back on the balls of your feet. You want to be on the front of your feet so you're ready to spring, and you want your feet to kind of be within your shoulders width. That gives you the best reaction. Whereas Cucurella often is kind of leant back, he's on the balls of his feet, and he's not keeping them together,
striding too much.
Exactly. So when somebody makes a quick move, he can't react quick enough to stop it, and that's what happened against Wilson Odobert, the 18-year-old winger who scored their goal. Not a bad finish. Maybe Sanchez could have done better. Yeah, he looked like he just left it. He did a bit of a Kepa there. So it was obviously a quite a poor way to start. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the game live because I was at work, so I was just reacting to it.
How dare you?
No, I know, and. So actually, I was listening to the game that I was like covering and highlighting and blah blah blah, and then one of the commentators said, "Oh, and Burnley have gone 1-0 up at Chelsea." I was like, "What? What do you mean?" So that pissed me off. Obviously, I was like, "Oh no, we're in for another nightmare." But
I was texting you throughout. I didn't know that you was in work. Though.
Well, sometimes I see it and sometimes I don't because the signal's really bad in the studio. So often, I'm on like Facebook chat or whatever, and I'll look at something and then a message will come through, and it would have been sent like 25 minutes ago. It says it's on 5G, but it clearly ain't. It's on like 2G. Obviously, so that goal by them was scored in the 15th minute. There were then 4 red cards. There were 4 yellow cards in the game. Cucurella gets yellowed for a foul. Enzo Fernandez gets yellowed in the argument that precedes that foul. Cullen and Odobert then also get yellows not long after. And then, through some fantastic work by Sterling down the wing, who rockets the ball into the 6-yard area in a difficult position, it cannons off Amin Al-Dakhil, and it goes in for an own goal, and we are back off his thigh, and we are back on level terms just before the start of half-time, which is what you want to be.
And just as I said, if you don't buy a raffle ticket, you can't win the raffle, right?
Exactly.
What did Sterling do? He fucking had a pop, and guess what? Deflection. We'll take it. We'll take a fucking goal.
What he does, he's experienced enough to know, look, if I fire this in at an awkward height, even if it hits a defender, there's a good chance it's going to make some trouble. Even if it doesn't go in, it might fall off. So, you know what I mean? So that's just like good experienced play. And I mean, Sterling had, one of his best games of the season, and he's had a few already. So obviously that was really good for us just before half time.
Massive morale booster, back on level terms, go back into the dressing room, not hanging your head in shame.
Exactly,
and
just
come
ready.
Out, fresh mindset. Pochettino's like, lads, I'll get you an Argentinian barbecue afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. He knows what to do. And then, Broja started this game, by the way. He gets subbed up at half-time. Clearly, is not having the impact that he might want. That might just be obviously related to his
I think it's the injury.
His injury, fitness.
And obviously, we need to play Jackson as well, because otherwise, if he's left out, then it's like, what have we spent the money for? So... and he's good. And
Jackson's a good player.
I love Jackson.
So we don't mind him coming on. Al-Dakhil also went off at halftime. I don't know if that was related to his own goal, but if it was, that's pretty peak.
Probably because he's depressed as fuck. So
then, not long after the second half starts, Cole Palmer gets his first Premier League goal.
He does.
Not only for Chelsea, but also just his first Premier League goal at all. And it was a penalty after Sterling gets brought down in the box by from more good wing play. So Sterling on that left wing, terrorising their right back.
It was a gift. Sorry to interrupt.
It
was a gift. But you know what? Just to break the ice, break the tension of trying to get that first goal.
You got to get it
always
done.
Just it doesn't matter. The ball's in the net. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The thing is with his penalty, cool, calm, collected, placement, speed. It had everything. It wasn't too fast, wasn't too slow. It was just right.
Yeah.
I was surprised that he went for bottom corner, because normally, when you see a player taking a Premier League, what was I saying, a penalty,
penalty,
it's like they just want to rocket it. And for his young age and his experience, I thought this is gonna go over the post. Like he's gonna
Yeah,
fucking rocket this. And
yeah,
no, I was so pleasantly surprised because we've had people missed penalties in the past.
yeah,
Enzo. So people like that, world class players. And I was actually very surprised that Palmer got to take it, but
yeah,
I'm happy they did
yeah. I mean,
because he
look,
deserves it. So
yeah, and he's clearly. This is. I think it typifies Palmer really as a player.
yeah,
He's literally like calmness personified. Like when he receives the ball out on the wing, he's calm. He takes a good touch.
I'm
And
not
he
scared.
no, exactly. He holds up the ball really well. He moves it into a space. When somebody comes to him, he'll either make a very nice like popped off pass and then go past him with a run, or he'll just touch the ball away, dribble, and then keep possession. That is so vital in the Premier League. Like one of the reasons why other teams struggle is because they've got attackers who can't hold on to the ball, and if it keeps breaking down play, there's more chance of the counter attacks. You can't maintain the ball, and that is important, obviously, to kind of dominate teams. So
Exactly.
good first goal, good penalty for Palmer. It's good to see we've got a decent penalty taker in the squad. That's always handy for finals if we get to one. So yeah, that's in the 50th minute. Burnley then make a triple substitution on the 61st minute, kind of shuffling the pack.
Can I just say before you go on?
Yeah.
Thank you, Man City.
Absolutely,
Pleasure doing business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what did we said it last week, didn't we? He might actually be the signing of the summer slightly.
Yeah.
Easy to forget he's only 21. Yeah, I know. He looks really good. So yeah, Burnley make that triple sub in the 61st minute. I don't know any of these players, so I'm not going to go into who they are.
Nah, fuck 'em.
Raheem Sterling then gets on the score sheet with a lovely finish and a good goal because it's Caicedo in midfield who puts in a fantastic tackle to break down Burnley build-up, who then pops it off nicely to Conor Gallagher, who himself then swivels, plays a lovely ball through to Raheem Sterling, who produces a really, really nice left-footed finish across the goalkeeper, and the kind of finish that I just haven't seen one of our players do for such a long time.
Same.
So great goal.
Pleasantly surprised. Obviously.
Yeah, definitely. Clearly likes playing on the left, and if he
I
performs like
this,
because
we've been playing him on the right, and then this left was he was intense. He was everywhere.
He was literally his fullback. His fullback got subbed out. Vitinho got subbed out with an injury, so he terrorised him so bad. Vitinho got injured. The poor basket. So that goal was in the 65th minute. Caicedo picks up a yellow then for time wasting, according to SofaScore, in the 74th minute, and then maybe one of the goals of the season, Nicholas Jackson produces a jinky jink masterpiece. That sounds like a racial slur. I promise it isn't. It just means a good bit of dribbling. Some lovely build-up again via Sterling, crosses it across the box. It's retrieved by Cole Palmer, who turns, plays a ball into Jackson, who's like in the 6-yard box. He's got a defender coming to him, a goalkeeper coming to him. He then, what do you call that move? Yeah, he fakes a shot. He does a Cruyff turn behind him, and then looks up at the goalkeeper where he's coming from, produces a left-footed finish in the bottom corner, all within a split second.
Yeah.
And it is just a goal of pure class and technique.
I saw it and I was like, this is what we wanted. This is what we've been waiting for. And I feel like he's getting way more comfortable now in or around the box in the Premier League. Obviously, pre-season is a different kettle of fish. So, being in and around the box and the cool calmness again, we haven't had this for a long time except for Enzo. But or maybe Silva as well, but they're not attacking players per se. But just to be that cool in the box to think, I'm not going to just grab at it and just shoot, even though I was expecting him to do a first time shot. He's faked it and
fantastic.
Sort of Cruyff turned.
Fantastic.
And then placed it.
What
when did we do this?
I know it was a great goal, and
I know it's Burnley, but that's getting past any defense.
Yeah, basically. I mean, the skill like that, it's not down to positioning. It's down to just it's down to pure talent. And he's clearly a talented player. And another signing that obviously we were happy about already. He had maybe a couple games where he didn't look so hot. But a really good goal, and he's just so likable, and I'm really excited to see how he's going to develop in the squad. So then that was it really. Obviously, once we got the 4th goal, 7 minutes of additional time, we held on nicely, and we ended up winning the game 4-1, and looked pretty good. I've got to shout out Gallagher as well. Captain,
amazing.
another captain's performance. I've seen, what are they called? You know, like those stats wheels with like the different. I've seen one of them. A lot of people are hyping up Declan Rice.
Yeah,
£100 million player. Gallagher is literally identical in his stats wheel to Declan Rice, and actually he's got better tackling
in the final third.
And in the final third and passing stats. So, you know, people need to put some respect on Gallagher's name. And
We've been saying this for so long.
And I tell you what, I've not yet got my Chelsea shirt, but when I do, I'm getting Gallagher on the back.
Nice.
All right, I'm getting Gallagher. I'm getting him.
Love it.
Because he's not always injured.
No, exactly that. And he's just, honestly, the amount of hate he gets, and we say this near enough every week, I think.
I know.
It's like...
But he proves people wrong every week.
He's so good.
Yeah, I know.
He's so fucking good. And he's a blue through and through.
Exactly.
He's literally a blue supporter. His family is blue.
Yeah, no, it's so important. It's so important.
Fucking hell.
So...
and he was captain again, weren't he?
He was captain again. He was, yeah. And so, a really good game to kind of... Go on.
We didn't do a reaction, did we? Because obviously we was both busy.
Oh, yeah, we were both preoccupied.
Who is our leader of the pack?
I'm going to go Sterling.
Oh, absolutely. Gallagher.
Yeah, no, Sterling absolutely dominated the game. Had a hand in literally every goal we scored. It was down to him in some way, whether it was a run, a pre-assist, an assist, or a goal. He was everywhere, and he absolutely terrorised his fullback. So I have to give it to Sterling.
We'll go with Sterling is our leader of the pack. We'll send you your award in the post.
Some quotes then post the game from Poch, Mauricio. On our recent form, he said, "We are playing well, but we need to improve and be more confident in front of goal. I'm happy, and at the moment we are building our confidence, and 3 victories in the last 2 games is important for this young group." It is. So, hey, we always like to see a manager who says, "Yeah, we just won 4-1, but we want more." You've got to respect that. About Cole Palmer, he said he's a very talented player and he has the quality, and he surprised me when I arrived because it was the day before the transfer window closed. So one of those ones where it's clear that the club, had earmarked him, and as the window got, closer to closing. That's hard to say. We must have been keeping an eye on the situation, and Joe Shields, who worked at City and would know about Palmer, clearly was like, I'm getting this kid. Honestly, guys, I'm getting him, and he's proved correct. And then lastly, about Raheem Sterling, he said, I'm so pleased because I think he needs to feel the net, and he's a player with experience that can provide a very good thing for the team. So English is not his first language.
Another thing that he said about Sterling when initially asked by some journalist, they went, so your thoughts on Sterling? He goes, it's his job. I was like, true, I love that.
True, it's his job. That's just what he does. A good game, good feeling before the international break, which unfortunately has found us once more. For God's sake, nice to go on a high. But also annoying because we're in good form. So be good to carry on the momentum.
And who have we got after that break?
Well, exactly. Importantly, we have Asna. We've got the Gunners, who are currently, I believe, joint top of the table with Spurs.
They are with Spurs, yeah.
So, gosh, it's going to be an effing tough game, obviously. Now, Arsenal don't look as good now as they did this time last season, definitely.
No. And we look better than what we was last season.
Yeah, exactly. And we look stronger as well. We look better. So, in theory...
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be
really tough, and there's so much riding on it because Jorginho is in the starting lineup against Man City. Kai Havertz comes on and actually plays a role in the goal, not because he's any good, but just because they just resorted to lumping the ball up to him and just hoping he would be able to hold it up. Because, and we'll talk more about the actual game a bit later on in the rival watch. But yeah, so God, so many narratives going on in that game. I really hope though that. Remember when we were under Lampard and we had Abraham, Tomori, early Mount, James, and we beat them 2-1, I believe. Tammy Abraham scored right at the end. I hope we can maintain that feeling, like a young squad who, they get it. They know what it means to beat a rival.
Exactly.
They're not just like heavily paid mercenaries.
I fully think we're going to be hungry for it.
I mean, and we've done a good job. They've won 3 games in a row before this, so in theory they should be ready. The only thing obviously we got to worry about are international break injuries.
Yes, which Brozier is out on national duty, so that's great.
Yeah.
Let's just. I was just going to say, with a new squad, they're all from all around the world. It's good to have Gallagher, Reece, Chilwell, and Silva because they know what it means to be in a London derby against Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like pull your finger out basically because this is going to be lit, and it's away as well. We got to fucking show them up. At their own stadium. So anyway, moving on. Sad news. I say sad news. It was sad news ages ago, but I feel something. Eden Hazard has retired at 32 years old, which is quite young, to be fair.
Yeah. Eden Hazard, quite possibly the best dribbler the Premier League's ever seen. One of the best players the Premier League's ever seen. I would argue in the top 5, and really on a good day, I might say top 3.
Yeah, I would say on a good day top 3, and I'd also say one of the most raw, talented players to ever grace the game.
Yeah,
because
absolute.
He is majestic. Now let's just. His statement was, "You must listen to yourself and say stop at the right time." After 16 years and more than 700 matches played, I've decided to end my career as a professional footballer. I was able to realise my dream. I have played and had fun on many pitches around the world. During my career, I was lucky to meet great managers, coaches and teammates. Thank you to everyone for these great times. I will miss you all. A special thank you to my family, my friends, my advisors, and the people who have been close to me in good times and bad. Finally, a huge thank you to you, my fans, who have followed me for all these years and for your encouragement everywhere I have played. Now is the time to enjoy my loved ones and have new experiences. See you off the field soon, my friends. AKA, he's going to play golf. So.
Well, I don't know if he's a golf fiend. The only thing I know about Hazard outside of the game is that he's a very committed family man. He likes just hanging out with his family and chilling. And I guess if you've got that much money, you could probably go to you could probably go to Legoland every day if you wanted to, because you could afford to, if you wanted to.
No thanks.
No thanks. Yeah. A lovely, a lovely statement. And funny though, like it feeling weird that he's retiring at 32. Over 700 matches played. Like he started playing professionally at 16 years old. If anything, you think actually he's put in a good innings. I think maybe the thing that's kind of obviously slightly clouded his legacy will be the poor time he unfortunately had at Real Madrid, where he was only able to play 76 games, and I think like 3 or 4 years, based on just a continuous amount of injuries again and again and again, which obviously is the reason why he's decided I'm not going to carry on. Like I can't maintain it. So I think he's brave to take that decision. He's obviously been well paid for most of his career, so he'll have loads of money to fall back on, which is good. Definitely. Which is good for him. But football is a short career, so make your P while you can. But don't go to Saudi and do it. But do it, properly. I mean, what's the first word that comes to mind when you think of Eden Hazard? I mean, obviously. Magician. I mean, that's a perfect word. Definitely, yeah. Majestic. But I was going to say,
you know what? We had Zola. Zola he is a magician. Like Zola is fucking great.
Yeah.
And I think when we say, when we always say, oh, like a Ibrahimovic regen or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a Ronaldo regen. Hazard was a Zola regen.
Yeah, in many ways, definitely. Yeah, probably quicker than Zola. But then by the time Zola got to us, he was like 31 or something.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, he just I think the thing people forget about Hazard is that he's not just the dribbles. He had perfect touch. He had unbelievable finishing. Like he could score left foot, right foot. He could dink it over you. He could shoot long range. He could curl it around you. He was an unbelievable one-on-one player. I think that's actually a skill that's quite underrated from Hazard. Like he was one of the most reliable people. Like when you see him through on goal, you're never like, oh god, is he going to score? Is he going to not?
No,
yes,
he's not a Werner.
No, exactly. Yeah, he was going to score more often than not. Obviously, an unbelievable penalty taker as well. Someone you could always rely on to score penalties, and that can be really handy. And just Christ, just an all-round unbelievable player. Like literally and
a good guy as well.
And exactly, and a nice guy with very little, issues and controversies outside the game. He had a bit of everything, and
every time I've seen him
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, and the game will sorely miss a player like that because
definitely.
I can't, there just aren't many.
He's old
somebody,
school.
Yeah, in a way, somebody worth looking for of a similar mold is actually at Man City now. Unfortunately, a guy called Jeremy Doku, who they signed in the summer.
Yeah,
not as good, but same kind of vibe. Like, funny enough, he's Belgian winger as well. But just quick, good dribbler, quick, smashes the ball. Anyway, enough about other players. I was going to miss him.
So I was just gonna say, his charisma around the changing room. You see him on, these
so
videos
funny
and stuff like that. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
And when he was taking the piss out of Ivanovic trying to pronounce shit.
Yeah, so hilarious. Such a funny video. Yeah.
And John Terry put on Instagram when he announced his retirement. He said, "I'm going to miss telling you to get ready 2 minutes before the game," because he just didn't care. He was like, "I'm here, it's all right." And I've heard Mourinho saying he was both the worst player and the best player in training because he didn't follow any rules. He was always late and didn't care. But when he played, it was just like watching magic. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was the same with the game. He got ready 2 minutes before the game. And John Terry's like, "Are we going to do a warm up?" He's like,
"Yeah, I'm not bothered. I'll be all right."
A little bit. So
some people might say that attitude is the attitude that meant he didn't achieve the heights he could have, blah blah blah, or he could have been playing for longer. But hey, some of the best players ever retired. Michel Platini, French icon, retired at 31. Cantona retired at 30. So these are iconic players of the game. Some players like Silva play until they're 40, but some players don't. And hey, wouldn't you rather burn brightly for shorter amount of time than
know what? You saying that? Yeah, I totally agree. And you can't deny his trophy collection. Because, in that short period of time, well, you say short period, it's like 15 years old, but...
Yeah, as you said, 16 years,
so it's in that short time, he's got a Champions League title, he's got Europa League trophies, he's got Premier League, he's got World Cup, he's got La Liga, he's got everything.
He doesn't have a World Cup. They finished third at the World Cup in 2018.
Club World Cup.
Club World Cup. Okay. Sorry. I was going to say that would be
Club World Cup. Sorry. So it's just ridiculous. And then he's got loads of others, bloody all the little ones like Carabao, the Super Cup, the Spanish Super Cup, Copa del Rey, all that stuff. He's got fucking loads, basically.
Tons, absolutely.
So it's just he's ridiculously good in ridiculously good teams. And he's just, I don't know much more to say about him. He's just absolutely amazing. Ego was. You know what? He didn't have an ego. He just knew that he was all right. He was good, but he didn't press that on to people. He wasn't like, "I'm better than you." He was just like, "I am me, and that's what it is. Deal with my greatness." So
absolutely. So, I mean, he's the guy, man. That's just him. It's like, what more can you say about everything he brought? He was just so good. In fact, he was the last Chelsea FC player to win a Player of the Month award for the Premier League in September 2018. So we've not had a player who comes anywhere near to his impact. One of the best things that happens when anyone retires, as sad as it is, obviously, to see him stop playing, is that the compilations that are going to come out, that people are going to put together, is going to be so good. And honestly, it's going to be like 45 minutes long. I've already seen some. Me too.
I mean, Mod put on Twitter, X. He put the 25-minute goal compilation on,
all of his goals,
and that's just the goals, 25 minutes. So
and some of those are some of the best goals the world's ever seen.
Outrageous.
That goal against Arsenal where he spun Coquelin, that goal against West Ham where he dribbled through the entire middle of the pitch and finished it beautifully. I remember a long ranger against Stoke quite early on in his career where he shifted it onto his left foot and from 30 yards out rifled it top bins. That goal against Liverpool, I think it was in the FA Cup where he dribbles past two of them
twice.
Dribbles past 4 players and just smashes it.
Fucking smashes it.
I was watching it and thinking, actually, that finish is so underrated because he's perfectly struck right into the side netting with power and precision. Tottenham, that goal he scores against Tottenham in the Battle of the Bridge to stop them winning the league, that basically confirms Leicester winning the Premier League all those years ago. Like, he's just had so many iconic moments, and as I said, I can't wait to watch all of the compilations, and I'm sure there'll be a documentary at some point about him and how cool he is. Big respect to Eden. If you do watch this, mate, if you do watch this, Eden,
son.
Well, yeah, good luck, whatever you do. And actually, it'll be very interesting to see what he'll do, because he doesn't seem like the coaching type. No, but he also doesn't seem like the media type. He doesn't seem like the media type either. So, it'd be interesting to keep an eye on him. Hopefully he doesn't, join the Saudi Arabian bloody World Cup ambassador scheme and make too much money. Career. Yeah, don't be an arsehole.
What I was going to say as well, like, the people growing up now will never get to witness Hazard.
And I know, it's so peak.
Someone said on a comment section, it made me laugh. Someone said, I'm going to have my kids watching compilations of him like we're watching anime series. So it's just going to be on repeat.
Just
and be like, look at this bit, look at this bit, look at this bit.
Just to show what a footballer can be. Absolutely, definitely. All right, well, hey, let's move on from Eden. On to some more stories about kind of our squad. Obviously, they've all gone off to international break. People like Axel Disasi, who was called up to the France squad to replace the injured Barcelona player Jules Koundé. And then, on the same day, in fact, 2 minutes later, Axel Disasi has now withdrawn from the France squad due to injury. So he gets called up, and then 5 minutes later or 2 minutes later, he says, actually, do you know what, Chiefs? I'm not about that life. I'm actually a bit injured. Apparently, he's got a slight quadricep injury that he picked up against Burnley. I don't think it's anything serious. But that was reported via Fabrice Hawkins. So he was in, and then he was out.
I'm all right with that. Another person that didn't get called up was Sterling. Thank you very much. I'll take that. Less injuries, more recovery. Thank you very much. I think international is just a fucking farce, honestly.
They're just so boring. I mean,
so shit.
Like, what even are these? Are these friendlies, or are these like?
I don't know. Euros,
they are. I mean, look, we've got a bloody friendly against Australia on Friday. This Friday, and then UEFA Euro. I mean, this is England, by the way. Yeah, UEFA Euro qualifiers on the Tuesday against Italy. So it's a Euro qualifier,
and then you're back to play at the weekend. So and then you're back. Yeah, 3 games in a week. Basically, in like 8 days. That's true, actually. We will. By the time we play Arsenal, we'd have had three games in 8 days. And obviously, you've got to remember, most of our players are coming back from, like, Caicedo and Enzo, for example, coming back from bloody South America. Exactly. It's ridiculous. So bloody annoying. Outrageous. I hate it. Ian Martson will replace Stephen, whatever the fuck that name is, in the Dutch side for the upcoming match against France and Greece. How do you say that? Burgess?
I think it's Berghuis. Berghuis. It's Dutch, isn't it? So it's weird.
Spelt weird. Ian Matson. I mean, you know what? Again, we hate internationals just because the potential of a risk of injury. But I'm very, very happy for Matson to be up for his Dutch side against France and Greece, which is France quite a hard game. So
I mean, difficult.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I believe. Ian Martin's never played for the senior side before.
No.
So he could get his first run out for
cap,
Netherlands as well. So that's that. Congratulations to him, obviously. Another young wing back, Malo Gusto, will replace Dio Upamecano in the France side for their upcoming matches against the Netherlands and Scotland. So another player
for them.
Another player who hopefully will get their first senior, because I know in the last international break he was playing for the under-21, so he's clearly impressed, as he's been deputising for the injured Reece James, of course, until he got a red card, and then anyway, Cucurella's had to play there. In other young player news, we have
Bayern Munich remain interested in Chelsea defender Trevor Chalobah, who is keen on a move ahead of January transfer window. It's very likely Chalobah will leave in January. I'm sad about this, as we've said multiple times. Bayern Munich, though, good team to go to.
I was going to say,
I can get behind him. Pause. I can get behind him, going to a different country with a big team.
Yeah.
Because I can support them then instead of going into a rival.
True.
So, I think he'll do well. I think Chalobah's quality, man. And obviously going to Bayern Munich, who's manager of Bayern Munich is Thomas Tuchel. So he already knows Chalobah and what he's capable of.
Definitely.
Maybe we haven't utilised him as much as we should have. But time will tell. But Chalobah, you have our full, support behind you.
Yeah. There's still a lot to happen, obviously, and unless 4 of our bloody 12 centre backs get injured, he's not going to get a sniff. So it makes sense.
How much do you want for him?
Well, true. I think we're not in the best bargaining position because every club, obviously in the world, we know we've got, as I said, loads of centre backs who are as good, if not better. So I guess you could probably, for a young English player with good flexibility, can play in multiple positions, at least 30 million.
I was thinking 25
at least. Yeah,
maybe 25 with add-ons. Something.
That's probably more likely, yeah. So, and Bayern don't often splurge, so they would probably want to keep it as cheap as possible as well. Yeah. But no, you're right. I mean, hopefully he goes to Bayern. Hopefully he plays. He's a good lad, and
maybe with Harry Kane, won't he? So
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. So it'd be sad to see him go, obviously, but this is football, man. We can't play everyone.
That's what it is.
So it is what it is.
Another twat to be part of the footballing world.
Another one. You said that after the Chalobah story. He's not a
twat.
What? Maybe here's the collective. Whereas this twat in the footballing world.
All right, we'll go there. I meant I don't know why I said that. I meant we was talking about footballing world can't keep everyone happy sort of thing. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever.
Here, hang about. I've got this problem with this bloody light. Watch this. Watch this, everyone. Right, there we go. Sorted it. No, sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, so Romelu Lukaku, for God's sake, he's back again, haunting us as ever. I've seen reports this week about Chelsea apparently put a set £37 million fee. So if anyone wants to pay that money, they can have him. Good riddance. But he's come out this week via an interview with TV dello Sport, Italian publication. He says, and I quote, "I'll talk in time," referencing the summer transfer window. "But if I really said how it went last summer, everyone would be shocked. There were times when I really thought I could explode." That would have been pretty good, actually. That would have been preferable. 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't back down, and I would. I don't understand that last sentence, but I mean, he can't help himself. He's always chirping about something. This is a guy who's just recently been dropped by his sports agency, Rock Nation Sports. So they're clearly not impressed with him and the stuff he's playing, the stuff he's doing. So
it's like watching a fucking Love Island contestant. Yeah, he just wants drama. That's all he wants.
He's just so unlikable. I don't know how someone can go from signing for us as an 18-year-old and go genuinely loving the club. Videos of him as a 16-year-old visiting on a school trip and loving it, and then signing for us and obviously leaving, but it was what it was for the time, and then coming back in all these videos he's loved us from day one, and then for him just. What an arsehole. I don't want to cover him too much because I just don't like talking about him. It's but it's just shut up and just do your job. Just shut up and do your job. Wait for the summer. You're going to get transferred, and then that's it. Clearly, someone was trying to sign you for 10 million, and we were like, no, obviously not.
No one cares about him. And you know what? I'd rather him fucking retire.
I know.
Just fuck off.
No, I know.
Anyway, Chelsea have continued talks with Saudi Arabian airline Riyadh Air over a potential £60 million a year front of shirt sponsorship deal from next season. Optimism remains over reaching a multi-year deal to cover the men's and women's teams. Not too sure about that myself.
Riyadh Air currently sponsor Atletico Madrid, so if you want to see what it looks like on a shirt, you can find it there. I actually don't think it is the most aesthetically pleasing logo because it's
of course not. It's a fucking airline.
Yeah, but some airlines probably British Airways would probably look all right because it's just font and it goes that way, right? True, it's horizontal. Yeah. Whereas Riyadh Air is a logo that is it's like a pill shape almost, and it's vertical. And I don't like vertical logos on shirts. I like horizontal ones.
Vertical. Do
you know what I mean? So I don't like the way that looks.
I'm trying to find it. Where did you say Atletico Madrid?
Yeah, Riyadh. If you type it, if you Google
that's plus
Riyadh
500.
If you No, if you type in Riyadh Air logo, it will come up on Google.
But yeah, Riyadh.
You're having a nightmare, Chief. Come on.
Oh no.
You don't have to Google.
Okay, I got it.
You got it?
No, I've got to the airport. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Riyadh Air. Oh, okay. Yeah.
There we go. You see what I mean? So you see how they do it? Like on the Atletico shirts, they've got the R, the pill-shaped logo going up, and then the Riyadh Air underneath. I just don't like it. I just don't think it looks clean.
No.
So
I'd rather British Airways.
That's what I mean. At least that would look good. But anyway, but aesthetics aside, obviously there are political implications with anything from Saudi Arabia as well. We have to remember homophobic, bigoted country, lack of rights for women, and many other issues. I mean, they literally execute political.
Yeah.
Well, they actually don't have politics because they've got a crown prince, so there is no democracy in that way. It's a theocratic dictatorship, effectively speaking. But yeah, so a lot of political implications, and it feels like it would just be a big kind of annoying PR story.
Oh,
they
definitely.
would just, like it'd be the kind of like Pochettino would be asked every week. So how do you feel about you signing this deal? Blah blah blah. So I don't know. It seems like more hassle than it's worth.
Yeah, like the manager's got any say.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's annoying as well. Because like, what can he do about it? I mean, but yeah. So
I like the Infinite Athlete logo. Honestly,
yeah, it looks class, man. It really it suits. Okay, kind of suits what we're doing.
Like, so modern as well. It's a modern logo.
True.
Sharp edges. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I don't really like. I mean, I'd like £60 million a year deal.
Yeah.
But just.
Well, hopefully, if we have a better season this year, we can show the wider world that we mean business, and people will be flocking to us to get on our shirts.
I'd rather have Free as a sponsor over Riyadh Air.
Oh bloody hell! Yeah, fair enough. And that's saying something.
Yeah. I've just seen a mock-up of it. That's why.
Yeah,
just seen a mock-up of the Riyadh Air on a Chelsea shirt, on the new Chelsea shirt.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Not into it. No, fair enough.
Let me redesign it, and I'm like,
yeah, we can
whatever.
work it out.
Just slide into me DMs
and pay me 100 million, billion, billion pounds or dollars. Let's move on then. That's all of the news. Obviously, if there's anything that we've missed there in the news roundup, please do leave it in the comments below, and we will react if it's worth reacting to. Obviously, women's. There was a bit of a barnstormer really on the weekend. I did manage to catch most of it. Yeah, well, actually, I mean, it was a 1-1 draw against City, massive league rivals. 2 players on City got sent off for 2 yellow cards. So by the end of the game, they had 9 players on the pitch. Nice. And it took us to get an equaliser in the 96th minute from Guru Wright to snatch a 1-1 draw. Chelsea looked shite, really shite. Lauren James was doing my head in. She was literally kind of arrogantly strolling about like she was above it all. Really, she was doing my head in. Like she just looked lazy.
England games?
Yeah, exactly. She just looked lazy. Like I'm too good for this. You know what I mean? I don't know. Her body language kind of puts me off. It's not like her brother who's like all action getting stuck in. She's clearly very talented, but I don't know. The way that she played really annoyed me. So. Chelsea just didn't play very well, and there were just occasions where I think some of the new signings, Ashley Lawrence for example, just looked a bit out of their depth at some points, and I thought, well, that's interesting. But hey, the sign of a good team, the sign of a title-winning team is a team who can react to adversity, bounce back, and it will probably do them world of good. Be like, look, we didn't play well, but we got a result against one of the best teams in the league. And if we can do that on a bad day, then we can do anything on a good day. So let's try and just make more good days than bad days. So that was that game. The next game they have is West Ham at home. That's this Saturday. If you want to watch it, you can get it on Sky Sports, obviously, if you pay the exorbitant price to do that. You could, as some people do, get other methods. Not that I know what they are, because I would never do anything illegal.
No, same. Don't know what
definitely not. No, definitely not.
Yeah, so that'll be quite nice because obviously it's international. So if you don't want to watch, I don't know, shitty countries play, aka England, you can
watch the women's instead.
You can watch the women's instead. Yeah, so
I think they probably
Stamford
expect
Bridge as well.
Yeah. I think they probably expect to beat West Ham too. So it'd probably be worth watching. We'll probably see some goals. Youth then, the under-21s in their last game won 5-2 over Colchester in the Papa John's Trophy.
That's cheesy.
Yeah, exactly. Very stuffed.
5-2 as well. They must have marinated them.
That honestly, that game was so pepperoni. It was unreal.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, mate, honestly, that performance was stuffed crust.
That was stuffed.
Brilliant. God, that was great. Great banter.
Great banter, it really is.
It really is. An own goal, a strike from Jimmy J. Morgan, a Tyreek George brace, and a late effort by Donnell McNeely gave Chelsea under-21s the result against Colchester United on Friday evening as we cruised to victory, 5-2 win over Colchester. Obviously, this competition, if you don't know, is a bit of a weird one. It's actually, you can also call it the EFL Trophy. Lower league teams play in it. And a lot of Premier League and Championship under-21s playing it as well. So it's kind of like a development trophy almost, and a good way for young players to play against, albeit not Premier League opposition, but still, bastards, lower league bastards who are going to rough them up.
Quite saucy.
Yeah, quite saucy, exactly. And no thin crust football there.
No, it's all deep pan.
It's all deep pan, exactly. So, this is the match report from the Chelsea website. In a game that we control from start to finish, the first goal required no work from our young Blues as a loose pass from defender Ronnie Nelson missed his goalkeeper and went straight into the back of the net. Tyreek George's 2 goals and Jimmy J. Morgan's good finish were key to our victory, as well as a smart penalty stop made by our goalkeeper Max Merrick. We did concede consolations, though, as Oscar Thorne and Nelson managed to grab goals for Colchester against a run of play. The next game for the under-21s is Leicester City under-21s the 27th of October, Friday 27th of October at 7 p.m. We then move on nicely to the under-18s, who won 2-0 against Brighton under-18s in their last game. Hassan Sulaiman's their manager, stormed to the top of the league with a comfortable win against Brighton, as Shamiram Waku scores again and a Harry Mills own goal were enough to give us the victory. Our young Blues continue their good form with a routine win against Brighton on Saturday morning. This was last Saturday morning. As we said, Shamiram Waku got the goal. 3 points means that we go top of the under-18s Premier League table with an identical record to Spurs here in second. However, because we scored more goals, we take the top spot. Again, that's a match report from the Chelsea website. And their next game is Tottenham Hotspurs, the aforementioned Tottenham Hotspur, on the 21st of October, the Saturday at 11 a.m.
Okay. Well, you know what? From being on a losing streak and everybody losing and all that, we're all winning. We're all winning or drawing. No losses, no L's. We don't take no L's.
No.
Well, I think we'll move on to rival watch. Asna. A shithouse victory. 1-0 over a struggling City. Awful game of association football. Now, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but fucking hell, what is going on?
What a crap game. For two teams that are supposed to be like the best in the country, if that's the best they can offer up, it's crap, bro. That is not football heritage. Like, the Premier League used to have some of our rivalry games,
outrageous.
The best, Arsenal and Liverpool used to have good rivalry.
Athleticism, peak football skill.
Yeah.
And they showed none of it.
United, when they were a proper team, bro, there's so many good games, but this is unfortunate. Like, this is the kind of the Twitter tacticos, the casual tactico fans. This is the kind of game that they love because it's all bullshit. It's all inverted fullbacks and loads of passing, and they love to make up all of these stupid, like, overcomplicated tactics that they think they're seeing. But at the end of the day, those two, like, most kind of overthought teams turned out just one of the worst games of football I've ever seen. Truly terrible. And Arsenal got so lucky because their goal came quite late from just a crappy deflected shot from Martinelli, and that was enough to win. And City just really petered out. It was quite embarrassing, really. It
was their second loss in a row.
I know.
For the first time since 2018.
2018. Jesus Christ.
It's I saw, I don't know, one of the Chelsea people on Twitter saying, "How the fuck did we let them get away with this?"
I know.
Not even 2 losses in a row in 5 years.
I know. The league's really let themselves down.
Yeah, so are we seeing the fall of City? Are we seeing them on an actual bad patch, or is this just a little hiccup in the success of Premier League again?
Yeah, do you know what? This is what City do, you know. The last couple of seasons, they've not really started the season that well. They've not looked themselves. Yeah. And then, someone like, De Bruyne is out injured at the moment, and Rodgers was banned because he had a straight red. I think he'll be back after the international break. But once they get, literally, this is what it's going to be. They're going to be all right. They're still going to pick up loads of wins. They're still going to be like the best team in the league, basically. Yeah. But they'll be in with a shout by January. Yeah. And then De Bruyne will come back in, and this is what De Bruyne does.
This game.
He'll turn up for the last 4 or 5 months of the season, absolutely dominate, goals, assists, just changing games left, right, and centre, and then they'll go on like a 12-game win streak, break a few records on the way, and then by the end of the season they'll be like 10 points ahead. That's just what they do. So you can never ever rule them out, because this is they are a juggernaut for a reason. They've won 3 Premier Leagues in a row for a reason. And they've got such a. Isn't it? Of course, it's boring. It's like bloody Schumacher in the F1 back in the day for Formula for Ferrari. So but anyway, shit game. Fuck Arsenal, fuck City. Next people that we don't like. Next team, Manchester United.
United.
United. You are nothing. You are a fool, and you are a waste of time. Good night. I wonder where he is actually, and where is he?
Are you on fucking space or what?
Honestly, that guy, man. What was his name? I was going to say, I can't remember either. Anyway, but funny dude. United. Yeah, so they win 2-1 at Brentford. Brentford were battering them. McTominay actually scored in like twice in the last 10 minutes, I think, to win them the game, which is annoying. Like, it's so United to kind of snatch a win from the jaws of defeat. I was watching that David Beckham Netflix documentary, and they showed obviously lots of clips. It's all right. I think it's a bit propaganda-y because he loves it. He loves this, but I'm just a chill bloke. You know what I mean, from a chill background, and I don't really like the cameras. Or that, bruv, you're literally the most famous person in the world for like 20 years. You do like the cameras, but if you like football, especially that era that we were just talking about, like classic Premier League football, it's worth a watch because you get an insight into Man United and Ferguson and stuff like that. So you can't hate on it too much.
What I do want to say is Ten Hag wasn't really playing McTominay. McTominay wasn't a first choice, and he's been vital to them in the past few games.
He has. It's the hubris.
It's just Eric Ten Hag being an absolute cock and I don't know, a fucking narcissist, really. But
narcissist, balled forward. Sancho still frozen out of the squad.
Exactly.
£75 million winger still frozen out of the squad.
One of the best wingers in the world.
Because he'd rather play Anthony. Anthony, quite possibly one of the worst players I've ever seen line up in a Manchester United shirt. And that's saying something because I watched Bebe.
That's saying something because we've watched Harry Maguire.
Yeah, but £100 million for one of the worst wingers I've ever seen.
Bebe,
Eric Ten Hag, bro, get straight in the bin where you belong. Next up, then, Brighton and Liverpool drew 2-2. That was a pretty good game. Brighton, as Liverpool do, as I always say, they concede first, they then come back and they score goals. Yep. And Mo Salah got both of their goals, so good for me, fantasy football wise.
Thank you for the points there.
It carries on doing its thing. Brighton are all right, but their results seem very up and down. Blah, blah, blah. Aston Villa drew 1-1 with Wolves in a West Midlands derby. Surprised to see that result because Aston Villa have been on pretty good form.
Wolves just beat Man City last week.
Exactly, So Wolves are clearly feeling good about themselves at the moment. West Ham and Newcastle draw 2-2 as well. West Ham went up in that game,
good for
obviously
West Ham.
Good for West Ham, who were
got slaughtered
by Newcastle. So it just goes to show the differences. There's levels.
There's levels to this shit. We're not farmers here. All right.
Chopper Liga, Farmers League. Like mid-table in the Premier League, giving Newcastle a proper game. So you can see it. You could see it. You could feel it. It was, I believe, Bowen scored first. Who, by the way, just signed a 7-year contract at West Ham.
Oh.
A major extension, so good for him. He's
reminiscent of another club I know. Long contracts.
But good for him. Securing himself in the Premier League.
Yeah, do it. Yeah,
good contract to get. I also think Mohamed Kudus scored late to secure the draw. obviously a player we were heavily linked with in the summer. So good to see him coming in and scoring, because he hasn't been starting, but he has been coming off the bench and looking quite impactful.
Quite tasty.
And then the last game to talk about is obviously the
Spurs.
The Spurs.
And Luton, which was very, very controversial, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely.
They scraped a 1-0 win over Luton, which is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Even went down to 10 men for the whole second half after a stupid Basuma dive. But the thing is, right, is I know that you said in this, even went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
Luton's terrible, bruv. Like, they're so bad. But the thing is, Spurs should be better than this. They shouldn't be scraping a 1-0 win against fucking Luton.
No, I mean, and they are better than this.
I was going
to say they are better than this because, as you just said, they are sitting at the top of the table and they've looked pretty good. You know, they've literally not lost a game this season. They've won 6 and drawn 2. They look a bit weird defensively. They don't actually look that solid defensively. So I'm hoping that the wheels will start to come off at some point and people are going to start. Yeah, true, Spurs. So hopefully they start, people start figuring it out, and then they can take some batterings. But Luton are shocking. They're not actually bottom of the table, funny enough. Sheffield United are, because Luton do have 1 win. I believe they beat Burnley. Did they beat Burnley?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. But Luton just looks so out of place. In fact, funny enough,
it wasn't. It was Everton.
It was Everton. You're right. It was Everton. But funnily enough, today Luton have actually just signed Andros Townsend on a short-term contract.
Oh right, okay.
To the end of the season. So Premier League legend Andros Townsend, who scored some of the best goals the Premier League's ever seen for Crystal Palace.
But yeah, they are the most out of the place team in the Premier League that we've ever seen.
Yeah. How many did Derby get in that season they went down? Was that 11 points? Was that the lowest points total ever? It was Derby.
It was Derby, and it was 2016, 17?
2007, 2008.
What was it really?
Yeah, 11 points.
Wow.
11 points.
My brain's gone.
So the annoying thing is that Luton have, because they've won a game, they've already got 4, so they only need 7 more. I don't know. They probably won't break that record, but they are pretty bad. So they just can't stay up this season. They're just not it. I've never seen a more budget squad in my whole life.
Budget stadium as well.
And a budget stadium. With all that being said, let's have a quick look over the table then, as it stands then before this second international break. Yes. Tottenham sit on top of the table, as I just mentioned. With Arsenal, we've got exactly the same wins, draws, and losses. Although they do have 2 more goals than Arsenal, so that's why they're at the top. City are in 3rd, 2 points behind. Liverpool in 4th with 17 points. Aston Villa in 5th with 16 points. And then we won't say everyone, but then down in 10th and 11th, you've got Man United in 10th with 12 points and Chelsea in 11th with 11 points. So we've we know we've not had a good start to the season for our standards. We've already lost 3 games. But hey, we're on good form, we're on good track, and we're only 6 points behind top 4.
Wow. Bournemouth.
That's a 2-game swing.
Bournemouth with no wins, 19th.
Yeah, a 3 draws.
I really overrated them, didn't I?
Yes,
or was it you?
I
think it was me, wasn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember now.
It was me.
Have a look back on our channel, people, look. But see, this is the fun of the preseason predictions, because we'll get to the end of the season, we'll look back at it and we'll laugh our heads off because we've been absolute twizzles. So yeah, there you go. That's kind of the Premier League as it shapes up now. No Premier League football for a couple of weeks because of international break. Boo. Which is obviously a shame, but hey, we'll be back next week regardless.
Yes, we will be back.
And then I think once this international break is done, there's not another one for fucking ages. So it's going to be wall-to-wall football.
Yeah, bloody hope so. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think that is it. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Rate us. Yeah. Anything else to add, or are we good?
No. I think we're all good. Just shout out to Eden Hazard.
Shout out to Eden Hazard. What a player. What a GM. And I think that's it. So, as always, up the Chelsea.
Thanks for listening to The Pride. If you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to leave us a review on your podcast app of choice, and maybe drop a like or follow on our YouTube, Twitter, TikTok and Instagram pages. And as always, up the Chels!